in the port city of Haifa. Missile strikes there that have made impact. I do believe that our Nic Robertson, who has been in Haifa, has reached the scene. Nick, what are you seeing?
Yeah, signs of destruction here. It's not clear yet how much damage to buildings there is. We do know from the local hospital that 5 casualties have been taken there, 2 of them in serious condition. The location we're at, without being specific, because Israel doesn't want to give away operational information, is a central location in this city. And what I can see behind me here are all sorts of emergency crews. I've seen the paramedics in here. I've seen the ambulances racing away from the scene as we've walked in here. I've seen the police controlling the streets around here. The military are on the scene here as well as the fire service. And it's their hoses that I've been able to see spraying water underneath the bridge behind me in there. It's not clear what they're dousing, what flames may have erupted. But just half an hour ago, barely that, the sirens had gone off here in this town. We were out on the street. We just followed people to the nearest shelter. It was beneath a shopping mall. And while we were in there, it's very hard to tell what's happening, but there were some dull thuds. Then we got the all clear, and as soon as we came out, like everyone else, you start to understand what has happened around you. And at least one missile, one Iranian missile, we're told, has impacted here. The details at the moment are fragmentary. We can expect the casualty numbers to potentially change. We can expect the details about what we know about the impact here to change. But at first glance, just coming down here, there are a lot of emergency services on site. And John, I got to tell you, just earlier on this morning, I was in the hub of where this city deals with this type of emergency, the hub where all the key players, the police, the fire service, all of them sit around a table with the mayor in what they call a war room. Information is feeding into them. They filter that information so that only information they get at that war room desk is key, cleared, critical information for them to make decisions about what to do. So I know right now that room is working at full speed with all their officials in there, feeding in information about this, deploying teams to the ground. There'll be rescue teams involved here as well. We may not have seen them yet, but they will be the ones dispatched to go in and check the buildings, check for people that are trapped, check for other people that are injured. It's a very, very coordinated effort, and what we're seeing here on the ground right now is precisely that effort playing out, and that is the resilience that city officials talk to us about in this city.
Nick, just earlier you and I were speaking, and it had been a quieter few hours, at least, in Haifa. That obviously ended quickly with the impact of this strike. But Haifa has been hit very hard over the last week during this back and forth here. The people in that city, what has it been like for them?
You know, one of the other places I was in this morning, and I might have mentioned that to you, John, was a church that they'd opened the car park underneath the church for anyone of any religion to come in there, get shelter at times when the siren goes off. And, you know, there were mattresses in there, there were people clearly had sort of set up their home away from home down there. And the priest told me at nighttime, a lot of families come and live in there, and they do that because they are worried about these nighttime strikes. So again, this strike coming during the day is somewhat out of the normal. When we were on the street before the sirens, or as the sirens went off, I literally saw a father, a mother with 2 young children, tugging them by the hand, running up the street, following other people to try to get to this place of shelter, this car park underground car park that we all ended up in. It eats into people's psyche, if you will. It stresses them. One lady I was talking to in that bomb shelter just now told me it was the first time she had gone into the shelter. So Haifa has been targeted from the early days of this conflict. 3 people were killed not far from here in the very, very beginning of the conflict. So this city is very aware that it's in the crosshairs of Iranian missiles. Last night was a bit of a respite, but I got to tell you, following on from our conversation earlier, John, about how it was quiet, it just shows me how everything here turns on a dime things change very quickly. The response is fast, but all of that eats into people's, it amplifies their stress levels. And as you can imagine, that's not good for anyone, John.
A lot of anxiety there, to be sure. Nic Robertson at the scene of a missile strike in Haifa just a short time ago.
No sign of de-escalation as Iran fires a fresh barrage of missiles towards Israel. Just moments ago, with the strike reported in Haifa, CNN is on the ground in both Israel and Iran.
Let's go first to CNN international diplomatic editor Nic Robertson. He's in Haifa, Israel, along the Mediterranean, Israel's third largest city. What can you tell us about this latest attack, Nic?
Yeah, Wolf, as far as we know so far, missile hitting the building behind me in central Haifa. It has caused, as far as we know, according to medical officials here, 2 serious casualties, 2 moderate casualties, and 18 other people with minor injuries. Several of those have already been taken to the main hospital here, which is, by the way, working underground. This missile came in here just a little over an hour ago. What you're seeing behind me here, Wolf, is a situation of destruction. And actually, Wolf, I'm being joined by the mayor of this city. You've been mayor here for almost 20 years. Tell me what has just happened. What are you seeing? What are you learning?
The Iranians have decided to make Haifa a target, and as I see, they succeed. They succeed to choose very important targets. This is the center of the downtown. I revived the downtown and turned it to be a commercial site.
And how many casualties here?
11 casualties that were moved to the hospital, to Rambam. And thanks God, nobody got killed.
And you're normally in the war room. You're normally sitting at the head of the table, working on getting all the different teams in here. Tell me what we're looking at, because I see police, I see medics, I see rescue recovery. Explain to me what we're looking at here right now.
You see everybody who has to do his job in the area he is in charge of. And thanks God, they are immediately turning down and coming here. And this is Israel.
And the priority is get the search teams in. I've seen the search and rescue dogs, the drones.
They go place to place to see if somebody is not there, got stuck. The people who died in former places like this, they got stuck.
You want to make sure there's no one trapped.
No.
Was there anyone stuck in there now?
No. Up to now, no.
You just told me here you revived this part of the city. You've been mayor for 20 years. How do you feel personally when you see it being your work for the city, this happening?
Look, I don't like wars. I've been personally in 10 wars. This is not the name of the game. The name of the game is peace. And we have a lot to help others. And we should do it. You know, the most important universities are situated in Haifa.
It is a mixed city, and it gets on for the most part.
It's the only mixed city in the world which is exercising for more than 100 years full peace between Jews and Arabs.
So let me ask you this question then. There's diplomacy going on in Geneva right now with the Iranian foreign minister, some European foreign ministers. President Trump right now has said he's going to wait 2 weeks before he makes a decision what to happen next. What are you hoping for from these different diplomatic pieces?
Peace, that the peace treaty will come out of it.
And President Trump waiting 2 weeks to make a decision, what do you think about that?
It's too much.
Why?
Because we have no time. You see what's going in the middle time.
There's more destruction.
They have to sit now and negotiate and design a treaty. It's not a big deal, and do it.
In your understanding, President Trump's analysis of what's going on is giving time for diplomacy, it appears. Are you happy with what you hear from him? Because one day it seems to be he's leaning towards the military action, another day seems to be leaning towards diplomacy. What's your sense?
A fixed answer I can't get from Trump. And this bothers me.
Why?
Because I like stability. And I think that he has to give me this stability.
Your leaders here don't want to push him one way or another in the country.
Talk to them. Why you interview me?
When you walk away from this now, what's next? How do you keep the city working and functioning? Because I hear from your teams, you have a very clear directive. In 24 hours, I want the city looking normal again.
Yeah.
Well, why is that?
Because you can't live in the middle of a war. People don't like it. People are worried about their kids. The income, no income in war.
I've seen photographs where there's been a bomb one night and repairs by the morning. It's about resilience. Speak to me about the resilience.
Yeah, there was a bomb which destroyed the whole area, and I stood there, and I stood 5 hours, and after 5 hours it was totally repaired, and people who came there got up in the morning and took their car and moved over there, didn't believe that there was a war there.